Coming up next, I'm going to tell you what leaders are going to have to do to retain talent going forward, and then use things, love people. The Minimalists join me for this important message, and it starts now. All right, folks, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. I'm coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville, and you've joined a conversation about you. Specifically, we're talking about what you were born to do, that thing that you think about all the time and you wonder, is it possible? That thing that you know deep down inside of you you're supposed to do. And you're going, is this an illusion? Is this a mirage? Is it a dream? We're talking about you being the best version of you, making money and experiencing meaning. Achieving a fantastic income and also making a tremendous impact. We're talking about living on purpose, maxing out, peak performance. Life is way too short for you to just have a boring or awful job. There's more, and you know it. And we're going to help you figure out what it is, or we're going to figure out how to get there, or we're going to help you figure out what's been holding you back. 844-747-2577 is the phone number to jump in. It's your show, 844-747-2577. Couple reminders as we get going. You can change your name and your location because some of these calls are very, very sensitive and private. So we're happy to do that for you. Secondly, if you're enjoying the show, give us a thumbs up as you watch right there below the video screen. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. All those things play into this thing called the old algorithm. And so we're growing, and if you are enjoying and getting value out of the show, help us grow. Thank you very much. All right, so because we are going to get promoted, because some of you have been promoted and you are in a leadership position and you want to keep growing, there are times on this show where I'm going to dive in on some leadership content because that is where you are. And we are with you through the entire journey, not just getting clear, not just getting qualified, not just getting connected, not just getting started, but in stage 5, getting promoted means you are going to step into some type of management or leadership opportunity, most likely. And then once you're there, you're going to still need to grow in order to keep getting promoted to then step into that dream job. And then in stage 7, work like no one else, giving yourself away. The income is there, but the impact is now, it's all about legacy. That's why we're showing up. So I want to talk to you leaders because your ability to grow as a leader, your ability to drive results as a leader and ultimately keep moving up yourself is heavily, heavily dependent upon the people that you lead. You got to lead well. If you aren't helping them do well, you are limiting your potential as a leader. You understand that. So I want to speak specifically to leaders because here's what I'm hearing every day on this show. Because if you listen to this show and you're in leadership, you're also hearing people who you're trying to hire or you're trying to retain people. Why are they leaving? People leave leaders, not companies. So here are 3 things that I think leaders are going to have to do starting now and in the future because the world has shifted dramatically. It's no longer a paycheck. A paycheck is not enough to keep people. There's 3 things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to give them a ladder, an opportunity where they see a ladder that they can get on and they can climb in these 3 areas: personally, professionally, financially. I'll break them down very quickly. Personally, you are no longer in the business of just giving somebody a good job so that they can make more money. You are in the business of helping people grow personally as well. These are people. And I think as leaders, sometimes it is a very easy thing to forget that, yes, they are filling a position and they are a professional, but they are also a person. And if you can help them grow in other areas of their life, their physical fitness, nutrition, their budget and their finances, getting out of debt, relationship issues that they're inevitably dealing with when they're not at the office, and that stuff's going on while they're at the office, if you can invest and develop them personally in their personal lives, that's a ladder. They can see they care deeply about me as a person, the whole person. Boy, two things happen there. They get healthier, they're more effective, they're more productive, but then they're also more loyal. That's the personal side. Professionally, well, this is the core focus of your role as a leader, and you're already here. But if you strip down leadership to its most simplest form, I believe your role as a leader is to help each individual team member win. Help them win. Your entire role as a leader is to actually help them win in their role. It's not the other way around. Poor leadership is when a leader goes, well, all these people are trying to help me win. No. You're trying to help them win. And by osmosis, organically, if you help them win, you win. So we understand that. So develop them professionally as well. Give them the tools to then add more skill to their offering. Develop them, send them to conferences, get them books, do reading groups, meet with them one-on-one and go, hey, you got some raw talent here. And I think if we focus on this, we can develop that into a sharp skill. Hey, this is an area of weakness. And instead of messing with weaknesses, because weaknesses are weaknesses for a reason, I'm going to help you figure out how we mitigate, how we remove maybe that from your current job description and put that on somebody else's team. Boy, this is really groundbreaking stuff. But most leaders don't think intentionally this way. That's how you develop and give them a ladder professionally. Show them how they can grow, where they can grow. Actively invest in their growth. And that will lead to the final piece, a financial ladder. You got to show them that they also are going to have an opportunity to make more money, to finance their dreams. You got to show them. You got to show them a path to personal growth, professional growth, financial growth. That's it, leaders. Companies, listen to me. You want to attract talent? You're out there in this big talent competition right now. Talent is just moving all over the place. The Great Resignation. People are just swapping and they're going. And these are the things that attract people. These are the things that keep people. They got to know that you are actively, strategically investing in their development, in their personal, professional, and financial lives. That's a game changer. By the way, the beautiful end result of this type of strategic, intentional development is you're going to put together an absolute world-class team, an absolute all-star team. And the results that you are driving for will take care of themselves. This is the leadership difference. This is where you're going to have to be. And for the leaders in companies that haven't figured this out, they're going to be playing catch-up when it comes to talent acquisition and retaining talent as well. 844-747-2577 is the phone number, 844-747-2577. What I love about YouTube and what I love about the podcast of the show, because we're on 75 radio stations in the United States. We're on Sirius XM Live every day as well. And, of course, we're here live on YouTube right now. And, of course, you can watch it later. And what I love about this, and we take the radio show and we podcast it as well, is it brings people from all around the globe. And you want to talk about giving me the juice? I love when we get a call from around the globe. And Aaron is joining us now. If I'm saying this right, is it Ramstein? Ramstein, Germany. Aaron joins us there. Aaron, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken, and yeah, it's Ramstein, Germany.
I'm so happy I said that. I've always felt like I was hooked on phonics, and then every once in a while I get tested. So I'm thrilled that I passed the test there. So what time is it in Germany right now?
It is 6:10.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, how can I help you?
So I can retire from the military. I've been in for 19 and a half years.
Okay.
I can retire. I can push the retirement button this coming May.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometime after May of this coming May, I can actually retire.
Mm-hmm.
I want to retire, but I have the opportunity to live in Germany for the next 3 years, which is a great opportunity.
If you stay in the military?
If I stay in, yes.
Okay.
but I don't know if I'm wasting my time because I'm 43 now. If I stayed in for my full contract, I'll be closer to 46.
Mm-hmm.
And getting out to get a new job, I have a degree in occupational health and safety, but no experience in it. I'm just wondering, am I wasting time just staying here because I want to, explore Europe or get out?
Well, I understand the heart of your question, but what evidence do you have that staying in the military for 3 more years and finishing out your full tour or commitment there is wasting time? Because you're going to come out at 46, still a young man, in my opinion. I'm 47, so I'm biased. And you have 3 more years of military experience. You have 3 more years of planning, preparing for the transition. Give me some evidence that this could be a waste of time. What's the evidence that says this is a waste and this is a not wise decision?
Just because if I get out now and use my degree, I could probably be making more money by the time I hit 46 than I do now. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm set either way because I'm not worried financially right now. I have, my emergency funds. I have no bills I don't owe anything except for my house, which if I stayed in until my contract ends would be paid off.
Aaron, are you hearing what you're telling me? I think the question you're really asking is this a silly, risky decision to stay in Germany for 3 more years? I think that's really the question you're asking me.
Yes. And do employers, I guess I'm really afraid that employers will judge me based on my age instead of, my abilities.
Okay. You think that employers in the United States are going to look down on you for being a veteran who served honorably and has a great degree and a ton of skills and a ton of experience that will be transferable, even though you may not be in occupational health right now in the military. There's a lot of transferable skills and experience. True or false?
True.
They're going to look down on a 46-year-old who's served his time in the military and served our country. They're going to look down on you as some big 46-year-old loser. You hear what you're saying?
Yes, and when you say it doesn't sound as terrible in my head as it does in my head.
I know, but that's my job. My job is to take your fear and just show it to you. Oh, by the way, let me mention what else sounds really risky and stupid. Can I be honest?
Sure.
You're going to stay in Germany for 3 more years, and in that time, pay off the only debt you have, which is your house, and you're going to fill up that emergency fund even fatter, or maybe you invest some money and really make some headway. Oh, by the way, the reason you're staying is because you really want to explore Germany. And while you're staying, you're in the active duty military and you're doing good things. Gosh, you sound really irresponsible, Aaron. I think this is a terrible idea.
Yes.
You understand how ridiculous what I said is.
Yes, I do.
But I'm saying it so you can hear it and go, oh, is fear telling me the truth and protecting me? Or is fear lying to me and potentially holding me back from doing what it is my heart wants to do? What's the answer?
It's holding me back, I think.
Yeah, dude. Explore Germany for 3 more years. Pay off the house. And you know what? Use those 3 years to maybe get some new training and certification in the very field you want to go into. You got 3 years. You got plenty of money. Start making connections with a year to go. Right? And then you walk seamlessly into it.
Can I ask one more question?
Of course you can.
Awesome. So I have my bachelor's in occupational health and safety.
Yep.
Should I go for my master's now while the Air Force will pay for it, or should I wait until after I get out and get a job in the career field?
That's really your decision. It's a either or for me. I mean, if you need it, yes, go do it. If you don't need it, I wouldn't do it. But if you feel like the master's is going to be the only way to get where you want to go, then yeah, I'd do it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it is the only way to get in.
Yeah,
but
here's my litmus test on that. Is the advanced degree or a college degree Is it the only way to get your ticket punched?
No.
Okay. Then the next question is it the best way? If it is, then I'd still do it. But if it's not the only way or the best way, then I'd say don't do it. It's time and money you don't need to spend. But if it's the best way, I'd do it. But if the answer is no to either one of those, then that sets me free, and I don't feel the push to do that. So, hey, thank you for your service, Aaron. Here's the bottom line. What you really called about is you wanted to know if you're being silly or if you're being risky, maybe both of those emotions. And the answer is no, you are not. Use this 3 years of exploration to get prepared for the next step. And when you walk out of the military, you're going to waltz in to the next season of your life and still be young and financially independent. Way to go. You are a rock star, Aaron. Thank you for the call. And again, thank you for your service. You're a great American. 844-747-2577. Quick little nugget here for the rest of the audience that's watching either live or later. Inside of that question and inside of all of your questions, whether you call the show or not, you must always dive deeper into what's really underneath the question. That's all I'm doing here. And there are times where I can be silly to prove a point. And so all I'm doing with Aaron and all I'm doing with you, if you call into the show or you listen to me talk to other callers, I'm digging to find out what is really behind the question. And that's an important exercise for you to develop for yourself. Going 3 levels deeper than the actual question gets to the root of what I'm really wrestling with. And when we do that, then we are in a position to truly get the breakthrough or the confirmation that we're seeking. Just pay attention as I do this with callers. Do this for yourself. We're always trying to go deeper. Depth is where we get to the source of what we're wrestling with. 844-747-2577. Rebecca joins us now in Atlanta, Georgia. Rebecca, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm good. It's actually really great to speak with you because I've had this question, and a lot of people have told me all sorts of different things.
Okay.
So I am halfway through my pregnancy.
Okay.
And unfortunately, no, it's not unfortunately. I am showing, so I can't really just be like, yeah, I eat too many cheeseburgers. And I have a job interview on Thursday. And so I'm just curious how to handle it. I'm really excited for this job interview because it's still within, basically I would still be within like the same company. I would just be transferring to a different university.
Okay.
But it would just be hopefully, just a better title and hopefully as well, better pay. So
okay, so let me make sure I understand real quick, and I'll let you keep going. You're already in a university system now, so you wouldn't be leaving the system. You'd just be moving to a different position and still be a university employee.
Yes, and it would be and it's at a completely different school.
Got it. Okay.
So I wouldn't lose any of the sick time or vacation time I've accumulated.
Fantastic. So what's up? What are you wondering about?
Okay, well, so that's the thing. Like, when you look at me, you can tell I'm pregnant. And so I'm just curious, how do you approach that in an interview? Like, should I say nothing about it? I just don't exactly know how to, handle that.
Before I answer that, what are you concerned about? What's the worry or the fear?
I think, so a lot of women I've talked to, they've expressed that places can be really discriminatory if it comes to hiring pregnant women.
Okay, but you're already in the system, and you're making an internal move, hopefully. And by the way, I am in no way discounting what those women have told you. I'm not in a position to say that they're wrong. I think they're probably right. I think for whatever reason, an employer may go, well, are you going to come back? I mean, I don't know what the reasons are they gave you. So this comes down to, what do you want to do? That insight that you're getting from other women, I have to assume is correct. And so you have a position that's open that you really, really want. So you either go for it and hope that that hiring manager doesn't look at you and go, oh, well, Rebecca, you're pregnant. Well, it's pretty obvious. So going into an interview when you're pregnant and not addressing the fact that you're pregnant, that just doesn't make any sense. That's awkward. That's weird. So we take the elephant out of the room by going, hey, did you see that elephant over there? There's an elephant in that corner. And then everybody goes, oh, yeah, I saw the elephant too. Okay. And so it's not a big deal.
Right. And the other thing too, so I already have a child, and I've been a working mom this whole time. And so, and currently just we're on baby step 2 currently. Mm-hmm. And so my husband and I, neither one of us have the luxury at this moment to be like, sorry, and by the way, going back to work tomorrow.
And by the way, you share that. You share that in the interview. We'll get that in a second, but here's what I want to focus on. I want to get your head in the right place, because this is the decision you have to make. You either put yourself out there and go for this position that you really want right now, or you say, well, because I'm pregnant, they might not hire me, which is true. Unfortunately, they can't say that, but that might happen. But the alternative is you don't ever go for it and you pass it up, and now you're sitting there wondering about it, and you didn't take a shot. Let me just tell you where I'm at, and I'm going to ask you to tell me where you are. I'm the guy that goes, it's possible for this reason, and this reason that I may not get it. By the way, that's true of any job we go after. Rarely are we the only person going after the job. And so whether it's in love or life, other opportunities or work opportunities, I'm the guy that goes, if the opportunity is here and I got a shot, I want to take a shot. Because I would rather be a person who went for it and I didn't get it, and that's life and I deal with that, than the person who didn't take the shot, who didn't go for it. Now that's me. So I'm telling you that because that's going to color my advice. What kind of person are you, Rebecca?
Oh, I want to take the shot.
Yeah!
And I think that's the thing, is I so badly,
take it.
I so badly want to take the shot.
Why?
But a lot of people I talk to, they're like,
because they're not. But Rebecca,
ambitious.
I know, but listen, Rebecca, they're not shot takers. Do you know what they are? They're bench warmers. Ooh, I went there.
I don't want to be a bench warmer.
Come on, Rebecca, say that again one more time.
I do not want to be a bench warmer.
Yeah.
Not today.
I'm the guy who wants the coach to put me in the game. I want my shot to earn playing time.
I want my shot too.
I know you do. So this conversation is over. You take the shot and you look at them in the interview and you go, hey, I'm pregnant, but I'm a working mom. Got another kid. My husband and I, we're on a mission. And this job helps me advance the mission. I want this job for this reason, this reason, this reason, and this reason. And I know I'm pregnant, but here's what I can promise you. I'm the best candidate you're going to interview, and here's why. And once maternity leave comes over, I'm coming back, and I'm going to set this place on fire. When you answered the phone, anybody that was listening and is listening right now, they heard the sunshine all over you. You go in there and be you, and you shine bright, and you give them everything you got, and you make them think real hard about why in the world they would pass you up just because you got maternity leave coming around the corner. Do you hear me?
Yes. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Now let's go. You got another question?
Yeah. So I just, so the first interview I'm going to have is going to be a Microsoft Teams interview.
Okay.
And then they said, depending on how the Microsoft Team interview goes, they would like to bring me in and actually see the facility. Mm-hmm. And so I guess, what are the things that I can do to really hopefully get me the job interview in person?
Well, I've got a free How to Win the Interview guide at kencoleman.com. So what I want you to do is download that as soon as this call's over. It's absolutely free. How to Win the Interview, and it's going to teach you how to prepare relentlessly.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, because listen, relentless preparation leads to reflexive performance. Your brain is a supercomputer, and if you prepare, it will perform. And here's what else I want you to do. In that first Microsoft Teams interview, you just own it. Great lighting. Check your sound. I want you to stand up during the interview. You don't have to reveal to them that you're pregnant this time. I want you to blow their mind. And you own this interview. You got it? So read the guide. It's going to tell you it's going to prepare you on the types of questions you will be asked, and it is going to, more importantly, give you some questions that you need to ask in the interview. And don't forget that this interview, as much as you want it right now, this interview is as much for you as it is for them. You ask questions and figure out, is it a good fit for you? And in doing so, you will stand out, because most candidates don't ask good, insightful questions in the interview. And the edge is the questions you will ask, not the answers you will give. For the rest of the audience, this is a free guide. I'm giving you the secret sauce. I'm not asking you to buy something. It's at kencoleman.com. How to win the interview. Go get it. That's the difference maker, is the questions that you ask in the interview. Makes you stand out, and more importantly, gives you good information to know, am I a good fit for this? Is this a good fit for me? Love your energy, Rebecca. You are amazing. Go, go, go. Always take the shot. A quote my dad gave me, and I don't know who said it. I don't even know that it's attributed to anybody, but when I was growing up, my dad said to me 1 billion times, the person who aims for nothing hits it every time. Life is too short not to take the shot. That's what I think. It's just too short. Life is too precious to not give it a shot. Right outside the studio, there's a giant painting on the wall that I see every day when I walk in to do the show. And it says, it's a picture of Teddy Roosevelt, and it says in big, bold red letters above his head, "It is not the critic who counts." That comes from maybe the most famous speech he ever gave. The excerpt from the speech is called Man in the Arena. If you've never read it or heard it, go look it up today. And there's a line in that excerpt of his talk where he says to essentially step in the arena. The credit belongs to the man or the woman in the arena, not to the critic who sits in the stands. And to go for it so that you don't end up, and this is my favorite line in the whole excerpt, like those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Whew. Whoa. I don't want to get to the end of my journey and be a cold and timid soul who knew neither victory nor defeat. And I don't want you to do that either. And Rebecca doesn't want it either. Final thought on this. I don't believe that there's one woman or man on the planet who truly says to themselves, honestly, I want to be on a bench. I want to sit in the bleachers of life. No, you can't convince me of that. You cannot convince me of that. That voice is not an honest voice. It may be a voice of discouragement, failure, abuse. But that's not the true voice of the soul. All of us want to make a contribution. We want to be in the game. We want to fill our role. So I just feel like I needed to share that because there's somebody out there that's watching right now. And you need to hear that the world needs you to get off the bench. We need you off the bleachers. We need you on the field. We need you. Somebody needs you. It may not be a whole lot of people. It may not. It may not number in the tens. It may not number in the hundreds or the thousands. But somebody in this world needs you to show up and be you. Will you join me? Can I extend a hand today and say, here, grab my hand. I'm going to help you walk off the bleachers and get in the game. The big part of realizing your role is to understand that all work should be about loving people. My friends, the Minimalists, have a new book out, another bestseller, entitled Love People, Use Things, because the opposite never works. I love these dudes. They're going to join me next. After this quick break, don't move. The Minimalists join me live in studio. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we're shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
You were created to fill a unique role in and through your work. The world needs what you have to offer. Now, some of you may be going, I have no idea what that is. Some of you may be saying, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get there. And then there's others of you who are saying, I know what I want to do, I know how to get there, but fear, family, doubt, finances are holding me back. I felt all of those emotions. I've been where you are, and I can tell you, there's hope. You can get there. That's why I wrote the book, From Paycheck to Purpose. It is a clear path that through 7 stages will walk you through the journey to be who you were created to be. You can make the income you want and the impact that you desire in your work. And the world needs what you have to offer. Somebody out there needs you to show up and be your best. And I know that you have what it takes. All right, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you do what you were born to do and do it to the best of your ability. Thrilled to have you with us. Hey, one of the resources that we've brought to you, and a lot of you are taking us up on it. It's a tool in the tool belt that you need in this year of the Great Resignation, and that is ZipRecruiter. Here's what I know about the job search and job change. It is a painful process, certainly with the artificial intelligence that's out there now with companies screening resumes. You got to do a bunch of resumes. You don't feel like you get any response at all, and it's excruciating. So my friends at ZipRecruiter take the suck and the yuck out of this deal. Number 1 job hiring site in the United States. Their candidates 3 times as likely to get hired. Why? Well, because it's really effective, and it's easy, and it's free. Here's what you do. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Minutes later, you've got a profile filled out with the resume there. You hit submit. They begin to take that information and match it up to jobs that companies have posted with them. They give you updates when you get looks, likes, and requests for your contact information, and companies can reach out to you directly. It's the easy way to get hired. It's free, and I don't know why you wouldn't add it to all the resources that we give you as well. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. All right. So as you know, we love to have guests from time to time on the show. And when I bring in a guest or guests, here's what I want. I want to know that they are going to bring different value to the same conversation. And these guys do. Joshua and Ryan join me here. They are the Minimalists. They're best-selling authors. They're movie makers. 2 documentaries. They're out touring the United States, and they just happened to be in the Nashville area last night. I said, guys, you got to come by. So we've had them on the program before, but they're back, and we're going to talk about their new book and so much more. So, Josh, Ryan, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, thanks for having us. We didn't sound very minimalist with that introduction with all of our creations there, man.
Well, I got to tell you, you may be minimalist, but you're also intentionalists.
Absolutely.
Can I make that up? I don't even know if that's a word.
What a great name. Yeah, it's funny, like people sometimes they get a little, well, they think it's too austere or radical, this idea of minimalism. I think it's the perfect word, right? Because it conjures up certain images of living with nothing. But that's not what we're about. We're not deprivationists.
Oh, no.
In fact, we're really about more, living with more freedom, more intention, more creativity, more love, and less of all of that excess stuff that gets in the way.
I'm glad you went there, because, Ryan, we were talking about this morning. I was on the old Instagram this morning, just seeing what you guys were up to, right? And I saw an excerpt that I loved, and it's beautiful transition coming out of what Josh just said.
Yeah.
And you took this idea of minimalism, and this is in your talk at the tour, and you're like, well, there may be a different word for it. In fact, you can fill in the blank. Take us down that path.
Yeah, so, essentially, a lot of people, they will avoid the word minimalism because they don't want that label, because the word itself sounds too extreme. So in the talk, I say, hey, if minimalism, if it sounds too radical to you, that's okay. You can just relabel your flavor of simplification. You can just pick your ism, intentionalism, enoughism, selectivism, curationism, practicalism, living within your means ism. It doesn't matter what you call it. Minimalism is a thing that gets us past the things so we can make room for life's most important things, which we know aren't things at all.
And that's really, would you say that statement right there?
Oh, yeah.
It's really smooth. So you said it a lot, which means you've thought about it. You live it. Isn't that really what you guys are about?
100%, man.
It's, the book is called Love People Use Things because we tried the opposite for a long time, right? We tried to love things. Oh, I love my truck. I love my house. There's nothing wrong with things. But the problem is when we forsake the people closest to us in order to amass things we can't afford. We're going into debt, but not just financial debt, emotional debt. There's stress and anxiety and discontent and overwhelm. The average American household has 300,000 items in it. Wouldn't that be wonderful if it was making us happier and more content, if it increased our bliss and tranquility? But it's doing the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
All those things are actually getting in the way of the important things.
Yeah. I've known you guys a while. I've never asked you this. Do you think, based on what you guys believe and live, and of course you model it, you instruct it in the books and the documentaries, do you think you guys truly would fit really well 300 to 500 years ago? Do you think that would be your ultimate time period? And I'm I'm having fun, but I'm being serious.
Well,
do you know why I'm asking you that?
I know. Tell me why
there
you're
weren't
asking.
a bunch of things back then.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, 300 to 500 years ago, the luxuries.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
No, so I'm not a Luddite, right? And so the Luddites want to destroy all sort of technology, and there's a sort of new neo-Luddite movement where I'm not against technology. In fact, we use technology all the time. I think what I'm against in my own life is removing all of the friction, because convenience is really nice in the moment. But when we remove all the friction, we also lose traction. And so it's like driving on a skating rink. You're going to careen from anxiety to depression to overwhelm to stress because we have no traction in our lives anymore. We've made everything so convenient. And
that's what I'm getting at, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having some fun with this, because I think where I'm going with this is that if you go 500 years ago, so you got your colonial era 300 years ago, and then you start going really far back.
Right.
I understand it was incredibly hard too.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm also saying, I'm just curious if you guys have ever thought about how we as humans have changed because of the amount of stuff. And really, you nailed it where I was going, which is convenience. Nothing was convenient 300 years ago. If you went into town, it was an all-day trip.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, they used to talk about 300 to 500 years ago, these things that people would take. They would take their time away, their attention away. They would waste time, and it was books. And they used to talk about how books were going to be the pandemic where it's going to take everyone's attention away. It's going to remove you from society. So really, that's my way of saying, like, this idea of minimalism, it's been around for so long. I mean, you can go back to you can go back to the Buddha, the Stoics, you can go back to Jesus, you can go back to Muhammad. I mean, the idea has always been there. The problems are different. So I do think that 300 to 500 years ago, there were some problems that minimalism certainly could have helped out with.
Good. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But I mean, I just truly wonder, when you get to a mindset that you guys are in and you live this.
Right.
And again, you're not like anti-technology and you guys aren't sleeping on park benches to prove a point. I get that. But I just wonder if we could survive with less stuff way better than we think we could.
Without a doubt. In fact, we can thrive with less stuff. We're in our culture, we always talk about more.
Yeah.
Now, it's more money, it's more status, it's more achievements, it's more trophies, it's more. Nothing wrong with any of those things, but when they become the point, when it's someone else's goal that has been thrust upon us, and now it has become my goal, even though I'm doing this thing that's making me miserable, well, that's a big problem. And so it's never about more. The happiless is not found through the pursuit. It is simply uncovered by getting rid of the excess.
Yeah, absolutely true. Joshua Fields Milburn, Ryan Nicodemus, they are the Minimalists. That's kind of who they are. They join me here on the Ken Coleman Show. The new book, by the way, is Love People Use Things, because the opposite never works. Here's why I want you guys on the show. I think there are millions and millions and millions of people who work like crazy to acquire more stuff.
That's right.
And I'm the guy that's going, you shouldn't work for stuff. You work for love.
Yeah.
You work for the love of the work and the result of the work. That's purpose in work.
Yes.
So you guys know that's how I bleed.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah.
But I think that we've got a lot of people that if they were to grasp your message, they might be able to hear mine. Because I think there's so much focus on working for stuff and status. Speak to that. That's why I want you on the show. I see it.
Well, what's fascinating about this is we have so many people who, well, if they're like me, I had my first luxury car in my early 20s. It was a Lexus, and I had to work really hard so I could pay for that car that would take me to the job I didn't like, that allowed me to pay for the car that took me to the job. And then when that didn't make me happy, what did I do? I bought the second Lexus because, the first one didn't make me happy. Maybe the second one will.
Right.
Or maybe it's the Land Rover. And then that didn't work. Maybe it's the bigger house in the suburbs. Nothing wrong with owning a home, but then when we buy a too big house, what do? We feel compelled to fill it with stuff. And now we're doing the job that we don't enjoy. It doesn't bring us joy. It's not the best version of ourselves. Yes, it's causing stress in our lives, but it's also ruining our relationships. It's ruining our creativity. We've been told for so long that we're consumers, and that's partially true, but weren't we built, weren't we made, weren't we created to create?
We were created to create, and then one more C word, created to contribute.
Amen to that.
And so here's where we are in great alignment.
Yeah.
We've become consumers, and we forgot that we were supposed to be contributors.
Yes.
I
love that,
Now
man.
listen, that's it. That's why I have you on the program. Because I like when you work and you do work you love for the love of the work. And we were talking about this morning. You and I just kind of huddled in the corner. We love what we do, the work itself. Yeah. But we also care deeply about the result of our work. It's missional. Okay, because we're all three of us are in the transformation game.
Yeah.
That's the result that drives us.
Yeah.
All right. So when you experience that, you don't need all the other stuff. You're going, I really, a nice car's a nice car. Yeah. But that doesn't give me the juice.
Right. There's nothing wrong with a nice car.
Nothing wrong with a nice car.
If I was to tell you to describe to me a picture of a rich man, you talk about the watch, you talk about the suit, you talk about maybe the car or even the yacht or the big house in the background. And none of those things are inherently wrong. The problem is when those are the point. When that's what we focus on, that is where we really start to put aside the rest of these relationships. And one of them is, our relationship with contribution. I mean, I like to think Josh and I, we're really trying to do the same thing that the whole Ramsey team is trying to do. I mean, I think about that every dollar budget. What's the number one line item on there? It's contribution. Yeah. What are you giving away each month? And what happens is when people focus on these riches with these material things, they don't feel like they have time to contribute. I'll contribute once I have X, Y, and Z. Then I used to tell myself this. Then I'll contribute. Yeah. And really, what Josh and I are trying to say is like, hey, those things you don't need. And when someone, when they feel like internally they don't have to have these chases in their lives, that's when they start to look externally. Now, I have met so many people who are impoverished people. I mean, to take it to a little bit of an extreme, who are incredibly giving, who are in this impoverished situation. And then I've met, very rich people who have the means to give and they don't give at all. Yeah. And it all has to do with this internal job. Yeah. And Josh and I are really trying to help people with that internal job, trying to help people heal so they can start to look at outwardly.
I love it. The book is Love People, Use Things Because the Opposite Never Works. Real quick, when you look at the book, it really focuses on 7 relationships: stuff, truth, self, values, money, creativity, people. What are people going to get out of this book as you walk them through those relationships?
You know, we wanted to write a traditional relationship book. I mean, Ryan and I realized we had screwed up a lot of our relationships throughout our 20s, and then, you know, as we went through our 30s, we started healing many of the relationships in our lives, and we really wanted to sort of dissect that. It wasn't about fixing ourselves, fixing people. It's about healing. And sometimes to heal, you have to do the opposite. It's not about the doing. Ryan broke his back a few years ago, and he asked the doctor, like, what do I do to fix this? And the doctor's like, what do you mean, what do you do? You do nothing. Like, that's how you actually fix it. You do less. And so the book, it starts with our relationship with stuff. We repair and we heal that relationship with our things. We've purchased so many things that were buried in misery through consumerism, right? Consumerism is just buying things that we think are going to make us happy or more complete. Of course, you can't be more complete. You're already complete. The things you buy can augment or enhance your experience of life, but they will not make you a better you. And from there, it goes to the other relationships you talked about, getting really clear on what your values are. Most people, they don't know what their values are. They say they're one thing, but then their actions align with something else completely. Their actions are against their values. Yeah. Of course, money, you all talk about that, and our relationship with creativity. We quote from you, and we talk about the 3 E's in the creativity chapter there, which is really a chapter about our relationship with distractions and technology. We're so distracted. Scrolling has become the new smoking. And so we identify how to be more creative so we can contribute beyond ourselves in a meaningful way. And then eventually we wrap the book up with our relationship with people, how to let go of toxic relationships. And also throughout the book, we have these 16 rules for living with less, showing people the boundaries they can set up in their own life with some rules that helps them have a healthier relationship with their stuff.
Yeah.
What I love about what you guys do is you help us clarify and simplify. And it's just wonderful, wonderful stuff. I couldn't endorse it more because, again, I think that some people need to embrace your message before they'll ever hear somebody like mine. I mean that, because there is, until you can get proper perspective, it is hard to see purpose. Yeah, it just is. Yeah. And what you're doing is amazing work. Love what you guys are about. The new book, again, is Love People, Use Things Because the Opposite Never Works. Get it wherever books are sold. Also, tell them how they can connect deeper with you, the documentaries, the website, and, of course, the tour that is continuing to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, really, you can just go to theminimalists.com and everything is right there. Our documentaries, our podcast, our tour dates. So, yeah, it's all in one place, real simple. Real
social
easy. Media
as well. They do great uplifting stuff there on social as well. These are good dudes. And this is a message that you need to embrace. I'm just going to tell you. You need to embrace it. On some level, all of us are guilty of the stuff that you guys address. And I don't say guilty in the sense of shame. No. I just mean guilty for the opportunity to realize, there's some breakthrough for me. There's something on the other side of this kind of culture sucking, kind of pulled me in like a magnetic force into focusing on the things that, quite frankly, are really trivial when we look at them. And I think above all, that's what you guys do for us. You help us with perspective. So great stuff. Thanks, guys, for being with me.
Yeah,
thank you, brother.
Thanks for having us.
Stuff. All right, folks, my time is almost up. But before I let you go, remember this: you matter, and you do have what it takes. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.